Good afternoon, beautiful people. Welcome to Kate's Space. Welcome to my channel. I'm Kate from Pixie Designs, and today I am just going to try and work on a little collage that I think I want to put on the front of my journal that I'm working on. I wasn't going to put anything on the cover, but I don't know, I'm just not loving it. So I wanted to see if I could maybe do something that could be removable if the person wanted a plainer cover, or yeah, I'm not sure. So I'm going to have a little play around, and I thought I'd bring you along. This is a photo from one of the Amity Bloom digital Sage Skies, I think, and I've just cropped it and then printed it onto some 4x6, and I've decided to use the matte photo paper. So I'm going to cut that out. In my little sample, I actually cut the frame of the photo off, but I'll just leave the frame on at this stage. I want to use some rusty bits. So I've got a few things rusting at the moment. I'll show you. They've been taken out of the rust solution, so I'll just put that video up now, and just waiting for them to, what is it, oxidize or something like that. So yeah, that's what I'm waiting for, but I thought I'd get started. I've done a little pre-mock-up, I guess you could call it, and I think I like it. I'm still learning with this kind of layered mixed media kind of stuff. I really like it. It's not really, it's kind of too bulky to go in the journal, so you kind of almost have to put it on the cover, but then I get worried about the longevity of it being on the front of a cover. But then I guess, yeah, things can be re-glued down, or you know, if they don't. So I'm just using a little sanding disc. I didn't even know that Tim Holtz had these until I watched Danielle from Evelyn and Sage Avenue use one. So I love it. You guys know how much I love sort of aging and distressing things, and I normally use this thing here, which is supposed to be for your feet. So this is, yeah, just a little sanding disc. Quite like that. So how is everybody? I hope you're well. I know it's been kind of a while since I've done anything, and yeah, I've been struggling, as you know. So I'm going to just try, and I wasn't sure whether I was going to even manage to make a video today. I don't know what it is, a bit of a mental block with it. I actually didn't want to rip that, but anyway, it's ripped now. I might pop a bit of sellotape on it. Yeah, so I don't know whether it's just ideas or confidence or what. Anyway, here I am. I'm going to do this, and we'll just see how we get along, shall we? And yeah, just hang out for a little bit. So I might just put a little bit of sellotape there. So I'm trying this collage glue again. This time I've put it in a bottle with a smaller, you know, with a tiny little metal thing. I don't know how I'm going to get along with it. We'll just see. So the collage is like an acetone based glue, but it comes in that huge bottle that I've got, and it just comes out so fast. So I'm just having another go with it to see if I really don't like it. So yeah, I still have this sort of cold thing hanging on that I've had. Wow, I came home with it from Auckland after I went up to see the girls for Michaela's non-hens do. We had a wonderful time. It was really fun, but yeah, I came back and obviously I was tired from the actual weekend, but then the Tuesday I started going down with this sort of cold, and yeah, it's just hanging around. I felt really good last week, but at the beginning of this week, but towards the end of this week and today, which is the Saturday, I'm just feeling a little, so I just thought I'd come down and hang out in my room and see if I can get this sort of collage done. I have this, I want to put this behind it. I want to tear it, but sometimes when you tear it, it goes a bit not great. So let's just tear here. Oh, this is not too bad actually. This is actually, that's good. I'm happy with that. Don't know what this paper is. It's kind of almost like a handmade sort of paper. It's out of like a what was a photo album, like sort of thing, and it's pretty nice, thick, sort of tough paper, so it's good for embossing. I don't know about anyone else, but has anyone else found that their embossing folders are cutting the paper or medium that they're using? I just find that I get a lot of cuts when I'm doing it. I've been wetting the paper, and obviously I'm using heavier paper now because of it. But yeah, I just don't know what I'm doing wrong. Because, you know, you want a really lovely deep imprint, don't you? But you don't want it to cut through. Like this hasn't. If I hold it up to the light, oh, I guess if I hold it up to the light, there's a little few places where it's gone almost through the paper, but mainly not. So this paper's really good. Right, so I think I want to see some out the side. I don't really want this edge along the top here. Let's see if we can just sand it down, make it a bit rough. If you don't like the sound of the sanding, just pop the mute on. Yeah, so anyway. David came home with flowers for me today, which is so, I actually said, who are they from? He goes, they're from me. That's how often he buys me flowers, guys. So yeah, we're laughing about that. Because often the girls will send me something for my birthday, some flowers, or Mother's Day or something. So I thought, oh, well, they might have been on the front doorstep from the girls or something. But my birthday's not till Monday. It's Saturday today, so I don't know when this video will go up. Hopefully, if it's successful and I actually get something created or made, then it'll go up. I don't know, tonight or tomorrow morning. Yeah, so he brought me home some lovely birthday flowers, so that was nice. And tomorrow, which is a Sunday, we're going out for lunch to our favourite restaurant. And actually, we're very lucky in Hawke's Bay. The restaurant at a winery called Craggy Range Winery. The restaurant there is the best restaurant in New Zealand. So we're very lucky. You have to book well in advance to get a place there. And they're actually doing some renovations, and I think they're expanding their kitchen and their restaurant, so it's even harder to get in now. But he had booked us a while ago, so that's awesome. It's great. I think I want a lot at the bottom, so I'll leave that there. But I don't think I really want anything at the side. This side. I don't think so anyway. So I'm going to tear down there and see what we end up with. I think I'll tear there. Yeah, so that'll be nice. And then Monday, no plans on Monday. Hopefully a breakfast in bed or something. And then, yeah, just get on with the day. We've had some beautiful days here. Just really cold, frosty mornings, but just with sunny, beautiful days. And honestly, the sun makes such a difference to my outlook. Today it's sort of, we're cloudy and overcast. The sun's trying to come out. There's a few blue spots there. Okay, so that's that. I want my base to be this beautiful old card, which I think is the back cover of maybe a scrapbook. Sort of, it's very old, and I've been hoarding it, and I've used some of it in this journal, so I thought, oh well, you're on a roll, just use some more. So I'm gonna I use some more old sellotape, why not? Yeah, so I'm gonna just see here, put a bit of sellotape down. I don't know if you'll end up seeing this, so it doesn't really matter, but I actually thought today I might start thinking about some Christmas crafts. Oops. Not sure about this glue. Yeah, so thought about getting my Christmassy things out and getting ahead with that for a change. Every year I try and fail, so maybe this year is the year that I actually get ahead. I've got a couple of journals there. One was a custom journal that ended up not being what the person wanted, and one's been in my shop a few times and not sold, so we'll just see whether I'm going to put that back in the shop or not. Right, I'm not sure about that glue at all. I'm not going to put any more sellotape down. I don't actually like how that looks, so I don't think you're going to see it. Right, and then I wanted to use this old envelope. Where is it? Here. So that's going on next. There's the next layer. I don't like these stamps, so you won't see those. And actually you won't see most of this envelope, but I like the colour. It kind of tones in with the teals and blues and creams that I've been using in the journal. And I couldn't find a place for it in the journal, so that's the next layer. Now, I was going to use some fabrics for some texture, so I think I'm going to put this down on here. I might use my sewing machine, I think. I guess if it doesn't end up going on the cover, it can always, I don't know, it can always be just a piece that goes with the journal, I guess. It doesn't matter. And anyway, I'm actually kind of having a bit of fun. And the more I do this, hopefully the better I'll get at it. Everything takes practice. And then I was going to use this. I think this is a Ruby and Pearl digital. Again, it's just kind of got that greeny colour. I am going to sand it up a bit. And then I wasn't sure whether I should maybe back this with something a bit heavier. It's on a matte photo paper, which I think is about 180 G or something, maybe. I don't know. Again, you're not going to see much of it, I don't think. Very little, so maybe it doesn't matter too much. It's just providing another layer. I'll just do some inking. So I'm using the antique linen ink here. It's a little bit lighter. So I usually start with the lighter one, and then I add like vintage photo or something afterwards. I guess having a cold, I may sniff a little bit, and I apologise for that, because I think when you've had a cold for a wee while, you actually stop noticing when you're sniffing. So that's that layer, and then this one goes on top of there. But then I've got some more fabrics here, so I've got a thin, so it's like a cheesecloth, but it's like a closer weave cheesecloth. I really love this cheesecloth, and I don't know where I got it. And then I've got this dotted Swiss, which is really pretty, and I don't know why, but I feel like it goes with that lady, the photo with her dress. So I want to put that under there, and I probably will just bunch that up, and that's probably the bit I will sew on the machine. I think I want New Zealand to show there. Just why not? So that's that. I have some flowers I've been playing around with. I've got this, which is just part of a digital, I think from Sage Skies. So again, I'm going to just sand that up. I guess one of the things about putting something like this on the cover, and it may get a little bit worn and damaged, if it's worn and damaged, if that's the look of it anyway, I guess if it does get a little bit more worn and damaged, it doesn't really actually matter. So that was going to go down the side of the photo with just a little bit of script there. I thought that was nice. I want to use one of my old labels, and I've coffee dyed that, and I've got a ticket here. I think this is genuine. I'm not sure, but I think it is. It's not a digital. And again, it's got that kind of nice greeny colour, so I wanted that up there. And then I was going to use one of the Tim Holtz frames, and what I've done is I've actually done it twice, and I've laminated or glued it together because I feel like it will hold its shape better. This is cardstock, and then I put two and glued them together so that it doesn't get all flattened out, and I wanted to put that on top of her. Maybe it does look a bit strange just floating there on top of the photo. I have seen it done before, and I liked the look of it. Now, instead of having that black stamp sort of peeking out there, I wanted to use genuine vintage stamp and just have that little bit of blue. But I'm not sure. I almost want it over the top of those things, I think, or not. I'm not sure. I don't like that. I'm not keen on that corner at this stage, but yeah, that's okay. And then I've got a rusty label plate here, and I'm thinking of putting this in it just to bring in some blue. So I think I will just stick this to something that's a little bit, what do you call it, firmer. I'm just going to glue it on and then cut it out. Our neighbour has still got lots of building going on, so it's actually really peaceful here today. And on the weekend, they're obviously not doing the work, so it's very nice and peaceful. When we came back from Auckland last weekend, or 2 weekends ago, was it? we had to say goodbye to our neighbours who sold their house and were moving out. Yeah, it was very sad, but last night I caught up with Hilary for a coffee during the day, and then we actually went down to one of the wineries, which has started just opening in the evenings on a Friday. A couple of them have actually, which is really good. And so yeah, we went along, and they were just serving like burgers, just real basic sort of menu, and they had a live acoustic guy singing there with his guitar. So yeah, it was really pleasant actually, and quite a cool thing. And hopefully, I think the first week they'd had hardly any sort of punters, and this week they were expecting a lot more, and it was quite busy when we left. It was only supposed to go 5 till 8, and there were still people there when we left just before 8. So, and they were still cooking burgers, so that's good. They'll be pleased about that, I expect. Right, so that's gonna go in there somehow, I think. So I can probably just cut it. I'm just going to cut it a little bit long at this stage, and I'll work that out later. And this was the other thing. Actually, I don't know where Barb, my friend, got this. Whoops, that's not what I wanted. Pick up the wrong thing. Pick up the sanding block instead of the inking thing. This has already got a little bit of natural aging to it. It's just like a paper tape. It's sticky, and she gave me a little bit. It's really cute, and I'd quite like to pop that under here. How many layers are we going to have, do you think, in the end? Quite a few, but that's all right. I like that. So that's going to go there. It's a little bit sticky, so that's good. It will sit in place a bit better. But yeah, I'm not sure about this corner. Am I push that up? Just quite like the little bit of blue, that's all. Okay, so I've got that, and then I want to put that rusty sort of book label there, label plate thing. I might have this at the top, this little rusty clip. Now I've got these flowers. They're kind of not really the right colour palette, but they've kind of got a greeny sort of tinge to them, and I was wondering about popping them on. I quite like that, but I might need to cut the wire here. And then one of my numbers, which I just thought I'd have peeking out from under there. So that's it. And then I thought, I'm rusting up some book protection corners, whether I could attach them to the book and this could come out. But then you're going to be left with the book corners on the book. So yeah, maybe I'm just going to have to commit and pop it on. So this is the book cover here. I was going to leave it just like this, but I'm not that happy with it. I mean, I love this colour. It's one of my favourite colours. I'm not entirely convinced with my fabric choice here, so I'm thinking I might put this doily over it, break it up, and then I'm thinking I might put this on top. So yeah, that's my thoughts at the moment. And obviously I don't know what anyone else thinks. So in the end you just have to commit, and then this might go on the top here like that. I quite like it. What I do at this stage is I have taken a photo of the other one I mocked up, but at this stage I would take a photo and look at it through the camera, because often you get a better idea. I really love all the layers. Perhaps it's not overly practical for a cover, but I'm just thinking maybe I'm not too worried about that. I was thinking of doing blue flowers to bring the blue in, because you can see I've got blues sort of poking out, but I don't think I will. I might try and keep it real neutral. We've got blue here and here. And so then I just need to decide whether I'm going to do the book corners on it, or whether I might just leave it at that. Think about how I'm going to attach these. I'll probably hand stitch those on. I'll probably put some brads in here. Or I could stitch them, but I think I'll put some brads in there. And yeah. So now the challenge is putting it together. Always makes me a little nervous. But I'm pretty sure I know how it goes. I mean, I have got a picture to the side of me, which is not exactly, doesn't look exactly the same, but it's similar. So yeah, I'm going to glue it together. Why not? I've been going for 28 minutes and I will probably edit a little bit. I would quite like to sew. I wonder if I sew this bit here to create a bit of... I should glue it first. So right, I will glue my cheesecloth down. So I want that sort of maybe peeking at the top and the side. I wonder, would I rather have it with the bigger bit at the top? Curling round, which I don't know if you're going to see it. Okay, I'm just going to do that. And it's just a little bit of glue because I'm going to stitch it, I think. Okay, the envelope goes on next. I might add a little bit of ink just to this. And yeah, I'm going to put the whole envelope on, so I wonder if I should maybe just glue these bits down. And I think that's going to butt right to the edge there. Like that. Yep. Okay, so I'm going to stick this down. Okay, look at that, we're committing. And if I don't end up using it for this, I'm sure I'll use it for something else. I guess that's the thing. All is not lost if you end up maybe not loving what you've made. You can always put it aside and use it on something else. I'm just gonna use a little bit of paint around here. Now this is Americana Light Buttermilk by Deco Art, and it's something that Nazi from Emily Bloom uses when she's doing some distressing, and also Danielle uses it. And I'm actually not loving this now, but anyway, we've done it, so hopefully make the best of it. I'm still just learning how to do this, so I may ink over the top of it to hide my mess. Again, a lot of it will be covered, won't it? So that's good. Right, we'll just let that dry. And I'm going to go and check my rusting. I've put a few pieces back in because I feel like they need a bit more, but it's really close between not much and too much. So just going to go around with, this is walnut stain, and it's not something I use very often, but because it's quite dark. Just trying to use different things so that, but also remember to take the sponge off because otherwise it will mix into the other colours. All right. So that's going there. And then I need to decide when I'm going to do my sewing. All right, so we've got this fabric here that I want to use. And I kind of want to bunch it up. So I use all of it. So again, I'm going to use some glue to do that. Am I brave enough to stitch it? And actually, will you see it anyway? Probably not, to be honest. I mean, I could stitch up here, which you would see. I am going to stitch it because it will make it really robust. It will just like connect everything really well. So I'm going to glue it as well in the middle here. And I think I'll use, I think I'm going to use black thread. In some ways it's actually a little bit contrasting to the inside of the journal, so that's okay though. Alright, I'll be back. So I've run a straight stitch around this card and around just down here. Right, the photo I also thought I would actually put onto something a bit more, just onto something to give it some strength, but I'm not sure that I need to. This is one of my favourite things to use at the moment, and this again is out of an old scrapbook or photo album, I think, maybe, and all the photos, yeah, and it had the, you know, the frames, but the photos were all stuck so hard in there, it was really hard to get them out. Some of them were destroyed in the process, but now I'm just trying to use up all this lovely card, or I like it anyway, very grungy, so it certainly wouldn't be everybody's cup of tea. So right, here we go, I've made the decision that's going to get glued on here. Maybe that's a little bit too thick. That's all right, we're making a big bulky 3D cover, so may as well just go to town now. Right, so I'm going to cut around, okay, and maybe just do a little bit of, okay, so that now is going on to here. Again, I'm inking. It's not going to end up being exactly the same, and that's just the way it is. That's okay. So now it's just a matter of working out how to attach everything. See how these are coming apart here? Not that impressed with that. These are 49 and market flowers, so I would actually expect better than that. They're coming unwrapped off the wires. So now I need to work out what I'm going to do about that. I guess I can stick some glue in there. Things like this irritate me because in New Zealand we spend a lot of money because everything is very sort of expensive here because of just us being, you know, just our locality, I guess. And, you know, retail places have to pay for the shipping for these products and things like that. And if it, you know, it shouldn't fall apart. It just shouldn't. It's not good form. Not that my opinion would change anything, but anyway, there it is. There we go. I mean, they're great little flowers, but I would like them to, I'd like to know that I'm putting this on my project and it's not gonna disintegrate, right? So yes, I will be stitching those on because I think that will hold them in place, so they'll go on last. I am going to put these in with brads. Now they're not going to be rusty brads, so that is just that. Right, I think I'm just going to glue this on here. So can't really move it around once you've placed it, so I want to try and get it pretty much where I wanted it. Okay, so that's one thing done, and then that I am going to attach like that, I think. I can never get it exactly the same as my first little fiddle around. Okay, right, so I do want to see some of the embossed paper there. Okay, that turned out to be such a long video. I'm looking at my computer, which is screen mirroring, and it says 1.5 hours, so that is why I put it to music and sped it up a little bit, because it was getting too long. So that is what we have ended up with. Will it end up on the cover? I don't know. Maybe. And then how are we going to attach it? Because I've already done the inside. So those are two things that I need to think about. Am I going to glue this on? That's where we're at. I hope you have enjoyed that, if you managed to watch the whole thing. Just really wanted to get a video up really and hang out with you guys a little bit and touch base. So thank you so much for hanging out with me today. I hope you have a great weekend, or have had a great weekend depending on when this goes up. I'd really appreciate it if you could give the video a thumbs up or subscribe if you haven't already, just to help YouTube push the video out to other people who might be interested. That really helps us all out. So yeah, thanks very much. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.